Hey everybody, welcome to Daily Reflections with Chris. And I'm Chris, your host for tonight, just like every night. And today I'm videoing again from my group because I'm early and nobody's here yet. So hopefully we won't have too many interruptions because they'll start filing in, they'll start making their coffee, getting their seats, talking about stuff, and then I'll have to shut it down. So let's get started. Today's March 23rd. And today's entry is called "And No More Reservations." We have seen the truth again and again. Once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. If we are planning to stop drinking, there must be no reservation of any kind, nor any lurking notion that someday we will be immune to alcohol. To be gravely affected, one does not necessarily have to drink a long time, nor take the quantities some of us have. This is particularly true of women. Potential female alcoholics often turn into the real thing and are gone beyond recall in a few years. That's from Alcoholics Anonymous, page 33. These words are underlined in my book. They are true for men and women alcoholics. On many occasions, I've turned to this page and reflected on this passage. I need never fool myself by recalling my sometimes differing drinking patterns or by believing that I am cured. I like to think that if sobriety is God's gift to me, then my sober life is my gift to God. I hope God is as happy with his gift as I am with mine. Wow. And so many, I'll be honest with you, that first part of it kind of like still jerks me a little bit when people say, oh, once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. I remember hearing that the first time and I was like, I don't want then what am I doing here? Like, nobody's going to be calling me an alcoholic for the rest of my life. Or, I used to take it real personal because I didn't really understand what they were saying. And what they're saying, as I understand it now, is that it doesn't matter if you drank yesterday, today, or if you drink tomorrow. Once you put that alcohol, or once I put that alcohol in my body, I cannot stop. First I have the mental obsession, or maybe I get it afterwards. I don't know. I think the way some of us think about it a lot before we even get to the beer, right? We think all day about how we're going to get drunk, how we're going to drunk, how much it's going to cost, where we're going to go, la, 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 la. It's going to be all good, mom. We're planning all throughout the day what we're going to do. And we cannot stop thinking about it. As a matter of fact, that's all we talk about. And then I take that first sip and I'm just obsessing about the next one. And then I drink the next one. I start getting this reaction that normal people don't get, that normal drinkers don't get. I start losing my control faster than anybody. And a few more and I lose my entire will to stop ever. Plus, I don't want to stop. I am the type of drinker that drinks to get drunk, drinks to black out, that drinks to forget, drinks to ease the pain, that drinks to feel better about himself, to drinks to be able to meet people. That's the kind of drinker that I am. I'm not a normal drinker. I don't even know what a normal drinker thinks about. One time I asked my friend, she's normal, she's a normie, right? I said, what? When you sit down to eat, how do you decide if you're gonna have a beer or not? She's like, I don't know, I just order one. And I said, I know, but what is the thought process before that? She's like, I don't have one. I'm like, you don't think about anything. You don't think like, oh, I need a beer, or man, I would really want a beer. And she's like, yeah, sometimes I do, but that's it. That's the extent of it. I don't like obsess over it or anything. I was like, wow. I've never done that. Ever since I started drinking, it was like first drink, boop, alcoholically, and I never stopped for 7 years. So for me, my journey was short-lived. In 7 years, I did a lot of damage to my body, to my mind, to my soul, to my spirit, to my health, to my friends, to my family, to my jobs, to my finances, to my education. I mean, oh man, it happened fast for me. Like I mean, some people some of my compañeros here, they have the same story. Like, it took them down fast. Some of them been drinking for 40 years. I'm like, whoa, 40 years. But they always say it was the last five were the worst, or the last two were the worst, or the last seven just took me down. Because once we pass that line from normal drinker to alcoholic, man, it's to the races. It's off to the races after that. Like, there's nothing that was able to stop me but intervention from a higher power. Yeah, the law had something to do with it, but as those of you recall, I was still drinking while on probation. So I couldn't even stop. Even if they said, Chris, we're going to send you to jail, I was like, okay. But I was like, how are they going to know? I try to get away with it. I was push my luck all the time. Push it. So finally I came in here and I found this program. And wow, it's made my life so entirely amazing. So that's what it means about once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. It doesn't matter if I drink it today or tomorrow, it'll still have the same reaction. In 20 years, it's going to have the same reaction. I have an allergic reaction to it. It's like a person who's allergic to peanuts. They might always be, I don't know how that works. I'm not allergic to peanuts, but I'm guessing if they ate a peanut yesterday or today or tomorrow, they will have the same effect on their body, on their system. And some people die, people who are allergic to bees, peanuts, other things, soy, there's just milk. It's just a lot of stuff that that people are allergic to, that the body reacts differently than me. Like, I'm not allergic to peanuts, so I can eat peanuts all day and all night. Nothing will happen to me. And the one who's allergic to peanut doesn't think. The difference between them and us is that, like, if you're allergic to peanuts, you're not trying to grab some peanuts and stick them in your mouth. But an alcoholic, man, he's allergic to alcohol and he still wants it. He wants it he don't want anything else. He don't want nothing else but it. But the alcohol. And that's been my experience. I passed through those phases where, like, nothing mattered to me than to get drunk or to get high. And I didn't even know, really, when I talk about what it used to be like, I feel like I'm really, and I know sometimes I talk about myself in the third person, but when I talk about, like, my alcoholism, I feel like I'm talking about a whole different person, because that person, or the way it used to be for me, is that nothing mattered to me more than to drink. And then there came a time where I was like, nothing matters more to me. And all these other things that I want, I cannot achieve them. I cannot reach them. I guess this is what I'm supposed to do, is just die an alcoholic death. Of course, I didn't know what that was called back then, but I said, this is the way this is my life. I guess this is what it's going to be like forever, just to chase that drink and work to get drunk and get high and die. And man, I'm so grateful that there was that higher power intervention, because I would have been dead a long time ago. The way I was going, the things that I was doing, I put myself into many, 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 many risky situations. As a matter of fact, I had to, like, I had people knocking at my door with guns, like, looking for their money. And I didn't have their money. They spared my life. And the guy, I remember that last time the guy says, he says, you owe us a lot of money. And I didn't want to open the door because I didn't want to get shot or killed. He says, you owe us a lot of money. And I said, I understand, sir. He says, he took a pause and he thought about it, because they were old friends of mine. And then we started dealing drugs. Well, they were already dealing drugs, but then I started dealing drugs, and I kept using them all. And I didn't have the money to pay, and nor did I have the drugs. And he said, don't ever show up to my house again. And I was like, oh, man, I gotta stop. I gotta stop doing drugs. I gotta stop this lifestyle. And I stopped for like a week, maybe at the most, and then I started getting drugs from somebody else, and I kept telling myself, okay, just don't sell drugs, okay? Do all the drugs you want, but just don't sell drugs, because that's really, really bad. I was in denial still that I had a problem. I didn't even know I was homeless. I didn't even know that my life was unmanageable. None of those words ever came into my vocabulary. They weren't even in my vocabulary. I didn't even know what any of this stuff meant. It wasn't until I got here and people explained things to me, and I did what this person did. I underlined a lot of stuff. Did I underline this particular passage? No, but I did outline a lot of things. Because I found a lot of my truth in that big book. There's a chapter called More About Alcoholism. Ooh, it tells you exactly about the allergic reaction. Everything. There's a chapter called A Vision for You. How it works. Into action. I mean, those chapters are important. It's like, oh yeah. Chapter 3, Agnostic, tells you about all those people who believe in God or don't believe, or believe once but don't believe right now. I mean, like, I learned so much about my disease and myself just by reading. I didn't have to tell them nothing. They were just like, look, this is what this kind of this type of drinker looks like. This is what this type of drinker looks like. This is what this type of drinker looks like. Like, we're not gonna tell you an alcoholic. You can figure it out for yourself. Go do the test. Go to a bar and just drink 1 or 2, and then leave. Or buy a 6-pack. They have one here at this group. They say buy a 6-pack. To do the test. Like, buy a 6-pack, drink 3, and then throw the other 3 away. Every time they say that, I'm like, I could never do that. I just couldn't. I'm not a normal drinker. And I like how it says here, like, it's not even about how much you drink, or that you only drink on weekends, or that you only drink on holidays or birthday parties. It's not about that, or that you don't have to be homeless. You don't have to be like the guy in the corner looking for money. That's not what alcoholism looks like. Alcoholism could look like the president of the United States. It could be like GQ. It takes everybody. It doesn't care who you are, how old you are, how much money you make. It doesn't care about none of that. It doesn't even care where you're born, the color of your skin, what your identity is. They don't care. Alcoholism does not care. It takes anybody and everybody that it can. So it didn't matter when I came here. Well, I drank every day, so I could never deny it. But I've heard other people who says, man, but I only drank on weekends. Yeah, but what would happen every time you drank? What would happen every time? What happens every time you drink? Just like, if you're allergic to peanuts, what happens every time you eat a peanut? They can tell you, oh, my face blows up. I start itching. I break out in hives. I got to go to the hospital. I need an EpiPen. I have to take precautions. And they don't do it. Most of the time they're doing that is because it happens on accident. But not for us. Not for the alcoholic type. Shit, we intentionally go to get drunk. We go drink, and that beer has an allergic reaction. Of course, you don't know that before you get here, but what happens when you get here and you have all this knowledge and you go drink? It's worse. It's worse, man. I was like, ew. When I went to drink the second time after I got here, I was like, I can't drink with a head full of recovery. I can't. It's impossible, because I know, but I know exactly what I'm choosing my death sentence right now when I pick up a drink. So, one thing I do have to remind myself of when I get to those spots where, like, man, I don't really need AA. Why do I say that? Sometimes I say, I'm like, I don't really need need to go no more, man. I want to go. I want to go. I want to live a normal life. I want to go see what normal people are doing. I want to go hang out. I want to go, and I do hang out. I hang out a lot. But I start saying, I don't need that program no more. I don't need recovery no more. And then I get away for a little bit, and then I'm just like, whoa, this boy does. This boy does. Maybe not everybody does, but I do, and that's okay. It's free. Free help right here. Free Life College, free lessons, free. I'm drinking coffee right now. It's not free, but, compared to like Starbucks or 12-pack of beer or a whole keg, I used to always dream that I could get a keg and just have it in my room so I could drink it all. It's crazy, right? I mean, a keg in a normal situation, it's for like the whole party, not just for one person. But I used to always dream that I would be able to have a keg just for me, because I wanted to drink it all, and I didn't want to share, and I didn't want nobody else to drink it. I might give somebody a little sip, but for the most part, it was gonna be mine. Man, I fit the description completely. And it wasn't until I was able to get honest about that I was able to. I felt like as soon as I got honest about it, like my whole body went, and it just like opened itself to the solution. And the solution was a lot easier. It came a lot easier. It felt like it was more accessible to me. It might have always been, but it didn't feel like that. But it was more accessible to me. I started to get involved. I started to talk to other people. I show up early for meetings, make coffee, clean the tables, pushing the chairs. Make the place look pretty. When people come in here, they're like, "Damn, there's a nice group." Yeah, it's a nice group. Come on in. That sign behind me needs to be. I'll probably straighten it out as soon as I get off of here. But little things like that, they just take me out of my mind, take me out of myself, take me out of some horrible situation that I may be going through. And I'm grateful today that, some stuff an opportunity has shown up, an opportunity for growth, an opportunity for making an amends, an opportunity to have a good conversation. In the near future, it's going to happen. It didn't happen today. We planned it, right? So I'm excited about that, because I feel like it's not about the closure with that person. It's about me moving forward from that situation, because it's actually a girl I used to date. She wants to have a conversation. I don't know about what. I didn't ask, but we set up the date for 2 weeks from now, and I'm grateful for that, because I want to do the work, man. I'm excited to do the work. I'm excited to get past this, because like she was my last girlfriend. There's a lot of stuff there that's not letting me kind of like move on. I mean, even in that area, I'm not normal. I wish I could just jump from person to person to person, but I don't have that in me. I'm scared. That's what it is. I'm scared. And this last person really, a lot of stuff was said. A lot of stuff was miscommunicated. A lot of stuff was not addressed. A lot of stuff was hidden. And a lot of things were happening around us. So we never had that last conversation. We never even said goodbye to each other. We just sent a text, and she never answered. I never replied. I never asked her why. It's been 2 years almost since I've seen this person. And a lot has happened. So I'm excited that I get to do it differently, that I get to be her friend, that I get to do the work, make amends. That's what I really, really want out of this conversation. But because she initiated it, I don't know what she wants. My job, the suggestion has already been made, that my job is to listen to her, to give her the space to say whatever she wants to say, and then ask God if there's anything that I need to reply. I want to make amends. I want to put this thing to rest. I'm ready to move on. But I don't know. I think it'd be interesting to see what God will have me do with it. I've never really allowed, I didn't really allow him in this relationship, or ask him to guide us. in this relationship because it was toxic from the get-go. It was real toxic. And I'm guessing she hasn't changed. I mean, she made it clear. She was like, it's not like I came across, it's not like I had a big epiphany. She said, I felt like I wanted to have a conversation with you. So I'm like, okay, that tells me she hasn't changed, but I don't really know. She could be just saying that, but who knows? I'm not God. I don't want a future trip about it either. But I did want to share that with y'all because I do feel like it'll be a good opportunity to really watch this program at work. Not in her because she don't have a program. She's not an alcoholic. I'm the one that has a program. So it'll be a good opportunity to watch this program work within me. To be able to use my tools like higher power and listening skills, and maybe you don't cuss. I don't know. I think it'll be fun. But anyway, that's in 2 weeks from now. But till then, as it comes to as my life pertains, or my mind pertains to my mind, because it's talking about my mind right here. It's saying no more reservations. In other words, if I'm still thinking that one day I'm gonna be able to do this, and I haven't taken step one, if I'm still thinking that, that maybe I am a normal drinker. I don't know. Maybe you are a normal drinker. Maybe you just got caught. That's awesome. It wasn't awesome. That's not who I am though. But anyway, so if you're not sure, that's okay. But maybe just go out there. If you're not sure, go out there and just try it. Drink 3 beers. Buy yourself a 6-pack. This is a test right here. If you want to test yourself, go buy a 6-pack. Drink 3 beers and drink 3 away, and then you'll find your answer. I don't have to know the answer. You know the answer, right? So anyway, our time has come to an end. It was really good spending time with you today, and we'll see you again soon.